days, are the 30 days over yet?
Not yet. Good morning,
Oh,
Judy.
I like the writing part. It's just the getting up early part I'm not
Oh,
crazy about yet. Maybe by the end I'll be a morning person. What do you think?
I'm not holding out a candle in a windstorm for that one. No, no.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
at one point, I've said to somebody about something, I'm old enough to know who I am at this point. If you haven't created the skill set and determined that that's a goal of yours at this point, I think you're at a point, Judy, where you might want to just go, okay, this is who I am. How can I make this work for me?
Okay. I'll chew on that. I also, you have influenced me because you said something to me that, you like going to work early in the morning
Mhm,
because then you're home earlier in the day. And I
mhm.
thought, that makes a lot of sense. You don't just have a little bit of time in the morning and a little bit of time at night. You have more time at night because you left early in the morning.
Mhm.
And there's one, I'm looking for a job right now until I get things settled. And I'm thinking about an early morning start. I'm
Mhm.
thinking, maybe there's some value in that. So see,
Because here is the other thing that I always think is so many people in my life, my children, are sleeping until 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. And so they're spending the time that we are apart sleeping. So the more time that I have available in the evening or the afternoon, the more
when
time
they're
we can spend
awake.
together. Yes.
Oh, I
So
agree.
that
I
makes a lot of
agree.
sense.
I'm chewing on it. So
So
today
you've been listening to me, haven't you?
I have, you have jewels and nuggets that I think are very important to listen to.
Well, thank you. That's very
So
sweet of you.
yeah, well, it's true. And I think if I don't learn something from every person I know, it's not their fault. It's my fault because I'm not picking up, I'm not listening, I'm not being careful and hearing what
Oh,
they're saying.
so that makes me think about, since today our topic is listen,
Mhm.
I'm writing, or I'm thinking, what can we listen to and learn from, even those situations and people in our lives that we're not into, that we don't like.
I think
Hmm,
it's time to write about it.
you think so?
I do. Let's
Okay, we're gonna
go.
get right to it today.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay, we're writing about listen.
Listen.
See you in a bit.
Okay.
Oh, I could have written on this one
I could have
forever,
kept going too. Yep.
forever. So, just something last night happened for me that caused me at first to feel like I wasn't being listened to. And then
Hmm.
through this writing, I was able to turn around and realize that I wasn't being a good listener either.
Aha.
Mhm.
That does happen, doesn't it?
It does.
Hmm.
And I just really went on to say and explore the fact that it's easy to listen to people that we like and that we agree with. And it's easy to put our ear and listen to circumstances and events that we find pleasant
Hmm.
and energize us. But when there's conflict or disagreement, it's not so easy to be a good listener.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And the last thing I said in my writing is that my pet peeve is people who half listen and then interrupt and start to tell their thought.
Mm.
And what it makes me know or helps me know is that when I was speaking, they were already thinking about what they were going to say. So they weren't really listening to me at all. And
Mm-mm.
this even translates into, like, I'll send someone an email and it'll have 2 or 3 points in it. And they'll answer me by answering the first point. So I know they didn't read the second and third point, which if I had said it, they wouldn't have listened to that either,
Mm.
or they
Mhm.
wouldn't have heard that. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
I think listening is one of our most underused skills. And I think, how many times have you heard people say, no one ever listens to me? I feel invisible, and even if it's not 100% true, if that's that person's perception,
Mhm,
they
mhm,
are feeling underheard and understood. So,
mhm,
um, I know value another person listening. So one last thought on from me, I'll say when I worked at the hospital and guest services, I would often visit with patients in the emergency room, and often they were very anxious. And I would enter the room and introduce myself and offer a smile and soft words and ask a question.
mhm,
And
mhm.
often I would just sit back and listen, and they
Mm,
would talk and go into a myriad of ideas and thoughts and reasons and so on and so forth. And then when they were done with answering that question, they'd say, "Oh, I'm so glad you came in. I feel so much better. You're so good at your job." I hardly said a word,
mhm,
but I
mhm,
opened up that
mhm,
space and I listened
mhm,
to what was bothering them.
mhm.
And the catharsis of them doing that was all it took for them to feel calmer and and taken care of. So it was really
Now,
interesting how that
what
worked.
is in terms of being a listener, that was listening to something that really had nothing to do with you. Your goal was to provide a listening ear and comfort to
Correct.
people in an emergency situation,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So I wonder how that translates into, like, not in a work relationship, but in a personal relationship.
Well, there's two thoughts to answer that question, in my opinion. The first one is that I've often read where they say that people that are intelligent interrupt each other all the time
Mm,
because one knows what the other one is going to say. They catch on real quickly.
mhm,
And I say, too bad. You still need to listen to my thought. And I know that my husband and I used to interrupt each other all
mm,
the time. And we'd do this and say, time out. Listen to me. I'm
mhm,
not, you
mhm.
haven't even heard my complete thought. Well, I know what you were going to say. And then in the argument, I'd say, okay, what was I going to say? And they didn't have a clue. So, I think it's especially hard when it's someone significant in your life to
Yeah,
listen.
yeah,
And
I
I can
agree.
be a little preachy. Oh, who knew?
Imagine.
But, what happens to me is I say my thought and then, oh, but how about this? And then, oh, I thought this. And so I kind of go
Mhm,
on, and
mhm.
I think the other good habit for those of us in conversation is one thought at a time, give the other person a chance to respond and listen with attention.
What does that
Don't
mean? Listen with attention.
don't be formulating what you're going to say next. Don't be thinking about your argument that you're going to give them, why that isn't so. Listen, really listen. Empty your what you're thinking and listen to what they're thinking, and give them that level of importance in your life that they feel heard.
Mm, mhm.
Did that answer your question?
Yep, yep, I think so. So last night, I was at Ziggs with both Craig and his mom, and we got on a political vein. And yeah, and you know, on this particular issue, and I won't get into the detail, but they were both on the same page with this particular issue, and I was on a different page. And it was fascinating how neither of us, none of us, wanted to listen to each other because we only wanted the other people to hear our opinion. And I
Because you
think,
were the only ones that were right.
of course, and so I think that translates into a lot of different areas of life.
I think
And
so too.
and it is challenging in not only in politics, but maybe especially in politics
Oh,
to
especially. You have to
be a good
remember, I've
listener.
had political discussions with your husband before. It gets me in all kinds of trouble because I never know when to just say, and walk away. I mean, he's so
Hmm,
bright. He is so intelligent and
listen.
he's
Yep.
well read and he knows so much about so many things. But that doesn't mean I always agree with him,
Of course not. Nope.
and
Then
he
again, we
definitely doesn't
also
agree with me.
and we want to be, but the point is, I don't even want to listen to his point
Mhm,
because
mhm,
I have that preconceived notion of what I believe he's going to say.
mhm.
Yet in our relationship, I think the value is still in the sharing,
I think so
whether or
too.
not you agree, and the listening.
Mhm, mhm. And the fact that you will take the time to listen and then even feed back to them, what I think I hear you saying is this, so they know you're
I've never
listening.
done that. No, in the political realm, I've never done that with him. And maybe that might be something I might try.
What he might hear is, she really listened to me.
Mhm.
And I would have to, in most cases, say, I understand what you're saying, but in this case, I'm going to have to agree to disagree
Mhm. Mhm. And
because
I think you can only say that, and it will make more impact if you actually listen
listened.
first.
Yes, ma'am. Amen.
On that, we're going to wrap things up, Judy,
Okay, we'll move on to day 20.
which is
And hopefully I'll be a little brighter eyed and bushy tailed. I tried sleeping earlier last night and I won't even go into it. I don't like to admit to my failures. Okay, we're going to talk about create is our next
Ooh,
topic.
I like it. I like
So
it.
we'll like that one. Yeah.
Okay,
Have a
beautiful. We'll
great
see you
day.
bright and
Okay.
early. Okay, love
Okay.
you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.